sometimes the fear of getting it wrong hinders any opportunity of getting it right. It's okay. The Lord helps Peter. Peter, listen to this. Peter gets it wrong. He denies Jesus, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Jesus restores Peter after the resurrection. Not only is Peter forgiven, by the way, Peter got it wrong intentionally. It wasn't by accident. He said, I don't know him. No way, not him. No way, not him. The grace of God comes into our life even in deep personal failure. Deep failure and personal failure is not the end with Jesus. God's grace restores and reassigns. Don't get too concerned about getting it wrong where you don't do anything at all. So my question is, who he is to you will be who he is through you. If he is forgiveness to you, if he is forgiver to you, he will be forgiveness through you. Is the people in our life that you need to forgive? Well, if he is forgiver to you, he ought to be forgiveness through you. Who he is to you will be who he is through you. How about this one? If he is salvation to you, he ought to be an altar call through you. If you and I know that he is the way, the truth, and the life, and he is the only way to the Father, no one comes to the Father except through him, me, him. Well, if we know that, if he is the way, the truth, and the life to us, he will be direction, conviction, and edification through you. You see, this Jesus, I'm very aware of the power in his name. He says, in my name, you will do these kind of things. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that he is Lord. He's the name above all names. We know this. His name is above all names. Now, this is where I want to come at this from a slightly different angle. We know it's his name, but is it just his name? You see, I think it's more than just his name. I think it's the person behind it. You see, I married Jennifer. Well, I married this amazing woman of God. I didn't necessarily marry just the name Jennifer. I married the woman of God that she is, who, by the way, she just so happens to be called Jennifer. You see, it's the person. It's the person behind the name. Jennifer, that's her name, but there's a person behind her name. There's a person behind the name of Jesus. Who is Jesus? We know this. Who do you say I am? Well, he's much more than a name. He's a person. And only he saves. And yet he's called Jesus. But it's the person and the sacrifice of his life, the death, the burial, the resurrection. It's because of what the person done who was called Jesus is why we enter into heaven. It's why heaven entered into us. You see, I wanted to prove this to myself. I was in Mexico 2 years ago. I was sharing with, who was I sharing? I was sharing with a friend only a couple of days ago, and I just wanted to prove to myself, and I was speaking at a crusade. I did 5 crusades in 4 nights, right up in the mountains in a place called Puebla. I couldn't think of the name then. Right up in the mountains. And there was a large crowd of people there. And I just wanted to just, because, it is his name, but it's the person behind it. So I was about to give an altar call. And I just said, before I give an altar call here, is there anyone here called Jesus? And about 200 hands went up. So I'm like, Jacob, I had the privilege to lead about 120 Jesuses to Jesus that night. We ought to know the person and not just the name. You see, Jesus cannot just be a household name. He has to be a household king. I've got household names. How about Mickey Mouse? How about Donald Trump? I went there. I'm leaving tomorrow. How about Joe Biden? How about Kamala Harris? How about Rishi Sunak? He's over in our country. The household names in your countries. But there's a name above all names. And his name is Jesus. So, not only knowing the name, his name is actually not enough. It's knowing the person of Jesus. Who he is to you will be who he is through you. And we have these opportunities to share him and tell people about him. But have you noticed, if you're like me, sometimes I can be more bold around believers. Sometimes I can be more bold in the church, within the church walls. Sometimes I can be, hey, I believe the Lord's got a word for you, brother. And then just freely give it. But I'm not necessarily like that in Tom Thumb or Whole Foods or what do you want, Sprouts. You see, sometimes we can become a lot more bold in the building. You see, because I believe that this battle of atmospheres, of light and darkness wants to shut us up. Light wants us to open up. It says no one lights a light and hides it under a basket, right? This light needs to be shown. Who he is to you will be who he is through you.